Hey guys, I just want to quickly update the news in regards to the Dead Rising remaster. We just got some clarification in regards to some of the concerns that people had, and I just want to jump right into it. But at first, if you aren't subscribed, please do that because I plan on making a Dead Rising timeline video, and if you're excited for the game and haven't played it yet, it'll be the best way to stay up to date on the game. But let's just quickly get into the news because there's a few things to cover. They didn't really talk about much, really, but they talked about a good amount of things that a lot of people were worried about. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, I am extremely excited for the Dead Rising remake. I think this is going to be incredible, and this is going to reignite the series for years to come, because it looks like they are very passionate about this, and I think that's a lot of the things that people were worried about, especially after Dead Rising 4. So many people were concerned with whether or not they were going to do a good job. And I'm going to be talking about all this stuff a little bit out of order. If you want to read the subtitles on screen while the video's playing, I mean, go for it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit the entire video that they did into this one, but let me just talk about some of the things that they talked about. So the first thing that they went in and talked about was the time limit for the game. So in the original game, the way you kept track of your times and your mission was through a watch that was on Frank's wrist. And they have gone through and adjusted it so that 1 hour of game is 5 minutes in real time. So it kind of speeds it up a little bit in comparison to the older game. I didn't mind the time in the older game, but I guess some people did, and they were hoping that they would change it, so they actually went through and they changed it. So another thing that they changed was the character dialogue in the game. So in the original game, not only did the characters just grunt and like have text screens or whatever, but in this remake, they are going to add voices for all of the characters, including Otis. Like I said, they were all limited to just grunts and text screens. In this, it'll be completely changed, and voice actors will be added in to portray the characters for the game. And I think this adds a whole new life to the game. This was something that I wish that they had in the original Dead Rising game, because it kind of throws you off a bit when they just kind of grunt and, you know, cry. That's all they did in the original game. But it was nice to see that they had updated that. One of the other things that they talked about was the durability meter. This was something that a lot of people complained about from the original game, where you couldn't really tell what your weapon was, what state your weapon was in. So what they did in this was they went back and they added a durability meter, which this is interesting to me because this is something that I feel like this is actually something I believe was going to be in Dead Rising 5 when I looked at the alpha build. It looked like that they had added durability meters for the weapons, so it's kind of cool to see that they added this into Dead Rising 1. I think this is going to be so much easier for new players, and this will bring a lot of people in that probably didn't play it before because of all the different challenges that were in the game. So it's nice to see that they're making the game accessible to more people. Another thing like they're talking about here is the facial animations. They actually did a really good job with this. It looks like, well, like they said, they did motion capture for the characters. So it's kind of cool to see that their facial features are matching what they're saying, so it's not like goofy looking like the original game. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the original game, but a lot of the characters looked extremely goofy in the original game, and it's kind of cool to see that they have a nice coat of paint and they're actually being done justice. So it looks great on all parts here. I am so excited for this. So the next thing they showed off was the new design for Paradise Plaza, and this actually looks really good. This makes me extremely excited, and I can't wait to see what else they've added into the mall. Me personally, I hope that they add new shortcuts, different areas that you can explore, new stores. Like, I hope the whole 9 yards, because that's just going to add so much to the game that wasn't already there. And that just makes me so excited to see what else they've done with this game, because this just looks absolutely fantastic so far. And I I can't wait to play it. Another thing they show off here is the new outfits that you can grab in the mall, and how great it looks on Frank. I mean, it looks like it's actually a part of his wardrobe, like it just fits him perfectly. They even go in and they dress up as the toddler, like one of my favorite outfits for the entire game. So I'm just happy to see that this is panning out to be a really good game. Now, I can't tell if these are glasses. I think these are glasses. You can go through and add a pair of sunglasses to the character, which is awesome. That's you know, it would have been cool if they really went down to each article of clothing. Like, you could get a new watch that you could change throughout the game. I feel like that would be pretty cool for cosmetic reasons. But let's see what else they talk about here. So it looks like they are showing off the camera, which looks so much better from the original, which I kind of expected that they were going to go back and update the camera options, because the camera in the original Dead Rising was a little weird to toggle, so it's kind of cool to see that they've gone back and they've added an easier way to bring up the camera, so that's kind of cool. So I know a lot of the things that people were complaining about was the UI, and apparently they have added an option to be able to fix the UI so it's not as cluttered. Me personally, I didn't even notice that from the trailer, but it's good that they have at least added that as an option for players. So it's good to see that they are really making changes to the game. They also do a little bit of a weapon demonstration in this, just so people can see how the melee is going to work, which is good, because I feel like that was a lot of the things that people were worried about, was the way the combat was looking. But it's good to see that they're really showing that off so people can see that they are really doing a good job with this game. So this next part is actually something I was really excited to see them add, but they added the option to turn off the music when you stream, and this is actually a problem I had the other day when I went live on my stream. As soon as I played this game and got to this section, I got copyrighted by the Prisoner guys, the guys that made the Prisoner music, because it's licensed. But so they gave the option to people so they can turn it off if they need to, which is really good. That'll save me a ton of headaches when I go to live stream this on launch. They didn't show much of the Prisoner boss fight, but by the looks of it, they haven't made it too difficult. So I think it's still going to have the same simplistic idea, but not to the point where the game looks broken. So that's good, because I was worried about that. This is another thing that they showed off, was the weapon locker. Not the weapon locker, but they have a clothing locker. So basically all of the different clothes that you collect during the game, you can go and wear it from the locker. And they had this in Dead Rising 4, but I think Dead Rising 3 and 4, and I think it was implemented very horribly. So it's good to see that they made it clothes only and not weapons, because that kind of ruined Dead Rising 3 and 4 for me. So it's cool to see that they have added this in. So overall, they didn't really talk about much besides for that, but again, it makes me happy to know that they're listening to player feedback, because they know that everybody is so excited to see this game make a comeback, and it makes me very hopeful for the future of the franchise, and it puts me at ease knowing that this game is being worked on by competent people who know what they're doing. But that's all I really have to say. I know that this is a quick coverage, but I promised you guys I would be on top of everything as it comes out, and that's all I really have to say about it. I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this, go check out my BioShock video essay, because I would really appreciate the support, and that's how the algorithm works, and if you enjoyed my videos, maybe it'll recommend it to somebody else who does too. I just want to thank you guys all for watching, and have a good night.